Welcome to the table. You are now listening to the Real Table podcast with Michael Carter.
Welcome back to another episode of the Real Table podcast with your host, Michael Carter. Thank you once again for tuning into the Real Table podcast and listening where we talk about movies, TV shows, but mostly movies. It's a lot about movies. The theaters are popping. They are popping right now. I was just there last night and it is packed. People are going to see. I mean, there's basically two movies that people are really going to see right now. Zootopia 2. And if you're not going to see Zootopia 2, then maybe you're going to see Wicked for Good, right? So this holiday weekend, just kept it packed. Just kept it packed. People are going to go see the movies. Most people didn't go see Wicked the first weekend. And now they're going to see it this weekend and this past weekend. And then you got Zootopia 2, which, a familiar title landing a splash. But theaters are popping. Stranger Things returns, season 5, the final season. We're going to get there real quick. I'm not going to talk about it too much. I know people need to watch it. But season 5 is here, the first 4 episodes, and it's insane. It's insane. But before we get there, box office. I was afraid of Wicked for Good taking a drop, right? I was afraid. The movie, in my opinion, though most of the response is still positive, it's so interesting. The response is still positive, but this week I was like, Zootopia 2 is coming out. Wicked has to be like as good as Wicked 1 reception, in my opinion, for it to soar and fly as high as Zootopia, right? Maybe it doesn't beat it, right? But for it to compete and have any chance of keep making the profits, right? And even like, again, a few weeks from now, Avatar Fire and Ash is like, Wicked has to do a lot, right? And its first week to make that splash. And I think the debut was super strong. Wicked's debut was super strong. But ultimately, I think even I underestimated Zootopia just a little bit. But even like overseas, Zootopia in China, Zootopia is like $272 million in China, record setting. $272 million, right? A total of $400 million for the international box office. That's insane, right? That's insane when you think about it, and you even consider like the U.S. is just now getting in its groove. This next week, you see more and more people with the reception of the film show up. So I think that is incredible for Zootopia as a film. For Zootopia 2, it's incredible for Disney, but not good for Wicked. I don't think it's good for Wicked. I think it poses a problem. There's that tension of, yes, there's that demographic for Wicked where I feel like most of the demographic are musical theater geeks. Mostly musical theater geeks and people that love the first one, whether you're a musical theater geek or not. I think Zootopia is a wider range. I'll make this clear. Zootopia is not a children's flick, right? I don't think it's a children's film. And I think we'll dive into that. We're going to talk about a little bit about Zootopia 1. I watched that last week, and then we're going to talk about Zootopia 2. Zootopia is not a typical children's film. Yes, it is cartoon characters and it's animals, and they do funny stuff, but it is way deeper than some people might be willing to admit. But that being said, I'm like, I don't know if Wicked has the stamina, right, to withstand a children's. Technically, it's not a children's film, but it's Disney, and you're gonna get a lot of children. So you know what I mean. You're gonna get a lot of children flocking to that one, and families. Not saying they're not gonna do it for Wicked, but I feel like Wicked is just a different niche genre, where I feel like Zootopia is a little bit more open, where a lot more people universally love the first one. So, Zootopia 2, and it's off to a great start. This film, I don't know. I don't think it'll topple Lilo and Stitch on the year. I don't think it will, but I think that's something to watch. Can he get to the $1 billion club? It's possible. The reception is good, and I think that helps it in the long run, and especially when you get to the Christmas time. Maybe families haven't gone and maybe they're waiting just a little bit. In terms of Christmas, you got Avatar: Fire and Ash. Here's that other film that can squeeze in there for families to go take their kids to go see eventually, if they don't want to go see Avatar, or again, even if they don't want to go see Wicked, because I bet all two of those, Zootopia 2 and Wicked for Good, will still be in theaters around Christmas time, is my guess. But we'll see how that rounds out in the long run. I don't think Wicked has the punch either. Critically, I don't think it has the punch that it did with the first one. And I think we're gonna see too in award season. We're gonna see a lot less of. I think Wicked 1 got crowned a lot of stuff and got a lot of accolades, or even not even a lot of accolades per se, just a lot of just screen time. They were in you saw their name on top of articles, and they're just everywhere. I don't think Wicked for Good's going to have that same effect. I don't see it making it an impact. I don't see it's making an impact for award season. So let's keep that in mind. But yeah, Zootopia 2, also a great start. I love it. 156 million. Wicked added 93 million. But over time, it will be interesting too to see what Avatar does. I think Avatar's going to hit and it's going to punch. Longevity is always the thing to watch, right? Running Man not doing too hot. Paramount's going to lose even more money on this. 35% drop. 3.75 million, 5.5 million in 5 days. It's not good. Yeah, bottom line, Edgar Wright's not that guy. I need Hollywood though. Thinking about Running Man, I need Hollywood when looking at, and I don't want to say you penalize Edgar Wright, but I think we see a lot more filmmakers get the axe, get blacklisted 10 times out of 10, where Edgar Wright, where I go, when was the last time Edgar Wright had a hit? It hasn't been in this decade, right? And it hasn't, I think, Baby Driver, and that's a while ago. So Edgar Wright, not good for him. And this is why, I mean, it's not an original, it's a remake, but this is why some studios are afraid. They're afraid to go and try something new and jump off the deep end, right? Wicked obviously is a familiar musical, but it took the time for that musical to get off ground, for that adaptation to get off ground, and they finally did it, and it paid off, right? Zootopia 2 is something that is familiar. People know it. It's a sequel. It's really hard to go, in my opinion, it's really hard to go into an established world and butcher that, unless you're just, in my opinion, you're not the greatest writer or greatest storyteller, right? Cars 2, I'm looking at you. Anyways, it sucks. It's those types of movies that I go, man, these are the movies that need to win. We need a Running Man to win. Yeah, it's a remake, but we need it to kind of win, right? We need it to be different even though it's a remake, most of the people in my generation probably couldn't tell me who's in Running Man and who played in Running Man back when it came out a long time ago, right? So that's the difference. It just needs to hit. These are the kinds of movies that needs to hit, and I think I'm gonna really keep pushing on this podcast. Really keep pushing original films. Doing my best to cover those original films, and telling people, go see it, right? Go see it. I keep getting, there's nothing out. Did you go see one battle after another? Well, no, that didn't look that interesting to me. Okay, but you can't say there's nothing good out if you didn't even go try to go see it, right? That's, again, weird tension. Did you watch K-pop Demon Hunters. Well, I don't like anime and I don't like musicals and I don't like. Okay, there's another original product, which, by the way, is Netflix's biggest film of all time that's sitting on streaming that you can watch, and you're not going, well, that's not for me. It's a kids' film. Again, we can sit all day around this round table and go on and on and on and on. But I bet maybe you paid a ticket to go see How to Train Your Dragon, right? Oh, I've seen that before, and I just want to. There's all tons of arguments, and I get it, right? There's stuff that maybe you don't want to see, but there are things out there you just gotta go see it. Wake Up Dead, right? Knives Out, Daniel Craig, the new Knives Out movie, number 3, Wake Up Dead, which maybe you didn't know was in theaters. It's in theaters for a limited time, right? It's on theaters for a limited time before it hits to Netflix. Go see it. I'm planning to hopefully go. I'm filming this on Sunday, so I'm planning to go on Monday. To catch it. I'm not going to wait until it gets on Netflix. I want to go catch it, go support, right? Yes, it's a sequel. Yes, I get it. It's a little bit more, something more refreshing than going to watch Lilo and Stitch, which, praise God, I waited to streaming, even though it wasn't horrible, but I also wouldn't have been happy paying money to go see that one. Anyway, that's my rant today on original films. Stranger Things. I think it's been said many times. I feel like I've been seeing at least on X, on Twitter, it's been said, but I think I need to overstate it. Because I think Netflix, again, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Netflix. I think Netflix continues to think they're the smartest people in the room, and they're the smartest people in the world when it comes to releases, when it comes to how you handle releases, when it comes to handling specific projects made by specific artists. They continue to think they're the smartest people in the room. But for me, I'm waiting for it to actually really, truly pay off, right? K-pop Demon Hunters is a great example of a movie that, this is our best streaming movie. People are on a platform. People are watching it. So if you agree that it is your most streamed movie, which that's cool. That's awesome. Great for Netflix. You can agree that it's your most streamed movie. Can you also agree that you should have released it in theaters and that you would have made 10 times the money in theaters, right? Could we be having the argument, right, of Zootopia and K-pop Demon Hunters at the box office? Could we really be having that argument right now? Or not even an argument, just a discussion about the box office and what it's going to look like, right? Netflix, I think, continues to leave money on the table. They continue to leave money on the table with doing things that could easily benefit their company. They're so fixated on, we have to do streaming. We're just trying to safeguard something that's not safeguarded anymore. Other companies have already bought into the streaming aspect. And in fact, I'll even say most companies and most studios have found a way to do it better than Netflix, right? Netflix has a quality control problem. Too many products, too many things going on, and too many things get canceled because they have so much going on and they don't even understand how to really do the streaming model super well, right? And to that point, I could also argue some of these other studios are also struggling because there's too much content. But even then, I think, again, Netflix thinks they're the smartest people in the room, and I'm like, dude, this is not. Orange and New Black came out over 10 years ago now. Like that was probably the hit that put them on the market. Stranger Things took it to another level. Like, dude, you're not that smart anymore. We've seen Severance, we've seen The Pit, right? The White Lotus, right? These shows that are on these streaming platforms that are coming out weekly that are being successful. I think Netflix has really butchered this whole last season of Stranger Things by going, well, we're going to do something even different. We're going to chunk it out, but we're going to chunk it out 4 episodes at a time over the holiday break, over the holidays, right? Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. Probably the worst idea of all time, in my opinion. So you tell me you want to chunk 4 episodes at a time instead of going, 12 episodes, 12 weeks. Lock in. You on your couch, 9 p.m. this time. We're watching Stranger Things each week until the final episode. Now, here's the one thing I will give them. That final episode, if I'm not mistaken, one of the episodes, I think it might be the final episode, is getting a theatrical release. Bravo to Netflix for finally doing something that makes sense, right? Yeah, it's probably going to be a limited engagement. It's fine. It's a TV show, finale, whatever. To not do a weekly strategy for the final season of a show that has put your company on a map and really taking your company up higher and farther, it's a fumble to me. It is undoubtedly a fumble. Now, people will argue, well, no, I like to get my episodes all at once so I can just binge it through. Cool. I hear that, and that's awesome. I like the idea of talking it weekly. We're all in this together. So each week we're working through it. That's how it was with Severance, right? That's how it was with The Pit. That's how it was with Game of Thrones. I didn't even watch Game of Thrones when it was premiering, but that's what happened with Game of Thrones when it was on HBO. It was a weekly thing and people reacted together. It was an experience. Right now it doesn't feel like an experience. It's like, oh, the first 4 episodes are out. I'm going to stay off Twitter. I'm going to mute my apps because I don't want other news sites or other people to start talking about a product that I haven't even seen yet. I think Netflix has fumbled. And I think I think they'll continue on to that path where they have no idea, but they think they know what they're doing. I think they're the smartest people in the room. But this is my thing for Netflix. When Stranger Things is over, what's next for Netflix? I mean, these reality shows, what's that show? What's that next big show? Because when Stranger Things is gone from Netflix, right? When that last episode hits, what's Netflix's next big show? I don't know what it is, and I'm not sure they know what it is. I think they're trying to find it, and maybe that's the quality problem. You're highlighting all these shows that you think could be cool. Most of them aren't great, and then some of them that are great don't get a chance to be seen. They don't get the promotion. It's layered. All of that is so layered. But I think Netflix has fumbled this. I think Stranger Things deserved something more grand, right? Not 4 episodes that drops on Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, and then New Year's. Dude, what? Give me 12 weeks. Lock me in 12 weeks on my couch at a nightly premiere and watch the whole world unite and lock in to be all in on what's supposed to be an epic finale, right? Episode 4 was that episode too. If you have not seen Stranger Things, episode 4 of season 5, it's nuts. It is nuts. I want to try before Christmas Day to get some people together and we can get on here and we can discuss a little bit about it. Episode 4 is nuts. It's nuts. And it leaves you on a cliffhanger, which is perfect. Which, to even Netflix's credit, even as I hate the chunk releases, I'm like, you might as well give us 12 weeks, release it one by one. I hate the chunk releases, but that cliffhanger, the weight and the value it holds, that we just sit here, right? That we just sit here and we have to wait. And just imagine too, even let's say the first, maybe it's the first 5 or 6 episodes each week, 6 episodes, or maybe it's the first 4 episodes. You stop, we break, let's say around Halloween time, we take a break, we come back towards the end of the year near December, and you hash it out for the last remaining ones, and boom, we're done. That could have been sweet, because the way that the episode 4 hangs, it's incredible. It truly is incredible how that is a beautiful cliffhanger, and I bet episode 8 is going to do the same thing. I think we're going to be in, and I could be wrong, but I think we're going to be in shambles once we keep going with these next 4, and we get to episode 8. I think it's just going to have us in awe. That's Stranger Things. If you haven't watched Stranger Things yet, I've heard some people go, "Oh, I didn't even get through season 2 and I couldn't." And I go, "Dude, Stranger Things really finds its form in season 4. Like, it really comes together and it really feels mature. It feels well written, visually stunning. You go through seasons 1, 2, and 3, and yes, there's a horror aspect to it, but it's not as dark. Season 4 gets dark. It really plays into that darkness, and you go, okay, it's setting you up right for season 5 in a good way. And if you stopped watching it and you stopped listening to it, or not stop watching it, not even listen to it. If you stop watching it, I have no idea why. Season 4 to me is the best season. Well written, well directed. It's awesome. And I think it's the best season. So lock back in. If you haven't, lock back in. I know a friend that's going to be doing that soon. I go lock back in. Right? You get a break. The next break, Christmas break. If you have a break for your work, school, whatever, take that break, lock in, and watch all 3 seasons. I mean, all 4 seasons, and then watch 5 and lock in. I mean, that's a heck of a ride, and I'm actually kind of jealous if you haven't done it yet. You get to do it. It's a heck of a ride. Zootopia. The first one. Zootopia 2016, directed by Byron Howard and Rich Moore, was a sneaky hit. It's that movie that when you see it, you think it's typical Disney, right? And you don't think it's going to be like really, really good, right? And I'm not saying Disney movies aren't really, really good, but like a lot of Disney's content are definitely aimed at children in a way, right? Not calling animated movies in general the medium aimed at children, all of them, because it's not. And it's not all just for children. But Disney leans towards that. It leans to the kids. It leans to merchandise. You get the kids, you get the money, right, if you're Disney. And so I thought Zootopia was just a typical Disney movie. I actually I don't even remember the original trailer. But I just remember it not me being like, oh, I'm going to go see it. Like, I didn't rush to go see it. I do remember that when it came out, the reviews, like the way people talked about this movie, I was like, huh? Like, people were saying high praise about the movie, about its messaging, all about it. The characters, people loved Zootopia. And so I remember going to see it and going, wow, like this is really like Disney at its best. This is top tier stuff, right? Like, yes, I know people, I think there's that weird tension where people go, I don't want to watch a movie for political stuff and, all that stuff. And I go, well, do you just want an ordinary kids movie that does not have any real lessons and real thought-provoking lessons, right? Because this is Disney at their best. They create a film that's well written, right? And I think that says more about one's character if you don't like the undertones of racism, disorders, right? We're all different. The way we look. If you don't like that talk, that's a personal issue, right? And I think this is Disney at their best. They're taking something that's deep and that's real. It's real. It's real. It's rooted. It's rooted in society. It's rooted in everyday life. And it's a part of just who we are, right? Who you are, what you look like, privilege, what that means. That's Zootopia, right? It's not just a movie about animals running around and doing goofy stuff. Like, it's legit. And it has a legit message, which I think is good for kids to kind of see. Good for kids to kind of understand the importance of kindness, right? Being kind to other people, right? Not turning a back on people because of your skin color or the way or your privilege or, whatever you have that others don't. It's the respect. It's the level of respect that you show to other people. And so that's why I really love this movie. And that's why I think it's one of Disney's best works. It's because of just the little lessons in there, and it's actually funny, and the characters are relatable too. Like there are people that are like, oh, I relate to Judy Hopps, or I relate to Nick Wilde, right? They relate to these people. I mean, these animals. So Zootopia, after rewatching it last week, man, I'm like, dude, this movie still holds up. It's still really good, and it's one of Disney's best. And it's one of Disney's best because it doesn't have musicals. It doesn't rely on music to carry it. It relies on the story and the plot, the characters. It relies on that to really move the movie and to really make an impact. Good film. Actually, incredible film. Incredible film. My re-rating of it out of 5 stars is 4.5. 4.5. Zootopia is good. It is really good. It is really good. Right? It's really good. So, in Disney fashion, though, you always got to go. They got to get a sequel in. That's just the nature of Disney. Got to get a sequel in. So they announced Zootopia 2, and I'm going, all right. Do I want it? Do I need it? No, I don't want it. I need it. But cool. They want to do it. Disney builds a Disney park. Builds a Zootopia themed land. I want to say it's Hong Kong Disney. Shanghai Disney. They built a Zootopia theme land, right? And Shanghai Disney, which looks super cool. If you haven't seen pictures, go look at pictures. It's kind of cool. The way that it looks, it's incredible. It's incredible. This is one of the things. If you didn't notice about me, I'm a big Disney parks person. I love Disney parks. I love the imagination, the attention to detail. I just love the things that Disney is able to do and create at their parks. And so Zootopia Land at Shanghai Disney is pretty sick. Go look at those pictures. It's pretty cool. But I think the success of Zootopia 2 speaks volumes to why Disney decided to build a park out there. It also shows that there is a huge audience out there. You remember what I said earlier about the numbers? In China, was that 156 million here in the States, but in China, let me see, 400 million international, but 272 million in China. Record setting, right? There's an audience for it. People hadn't seen the movie. Limited reactions to it over the Thanksgiving weekend. But people showed up for Zootopia 2. Let's get it. Let's talk about the latest adaptation, latest iteration in the franchise, Zootopia 2. Let's get it.
Welcome to Partners in Crisis. I'm your therapy animal, Dr. Fuzzbee. Greg, we talked about that. What are we making Merlin? Uncomfortable. Yes. And Francine, Clark may be a mouse, but he is your partner first. And we have 2 new partners. Can you tell us about your journey to Dysfunction Junction?
Well, we've been official partners for 1 week. Happy anniversary. And we are functioning fine, better than fine. And we did sort of save the city. So us being here kind of seems like a huge misunderstanding.
Notice how she answered first, did not allow her partner to speak, and taps her foot when she's suppressing discomfort. And observe the source of her discomfort, represented by the disconnected affectation of her emotionally insecure partner.
Oh.
But for now, we begin by greeting our teammate. Okay, unfortunately, Karen has chosen to see Joel's smile as a sign of aggression. Hackles down, Karen. Karen, hackles down. Someone get the hose.
Bunny, Fox, this is a make or break assignment. Fail and I will split you up.
No snake has set foot in Zootopia in forever.
Hops and Wild?
Wild and Hops. The dream team. Sorry, Paul.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Kiss my ring right now.
ears. I have to help my family. Cannonball!
You know, this is not your worst idea.
Wow, that was almost a compliment.
Your worst idea is what you did with your ears.
So I didn't love Zootopia 2. Ooh, let me log this in my letterbox as I'm talking. So I didn't love Zootopia 2 as much as I loved the first one. But I can confidently say that Zootopia 2 is a good sequel. Me and my wife were driving and we were talking. We were like, I told her, I was like, I didn't like it as much as I liked the first one, but it's still a good movie. And she's like, yeah, it's a good sequel. As a sequel, it is good. It works well as a continuation of the story that we've seen from the first one. Sometimes sequels suck, right? Remember, for the longest time, that was a common thread. When you get a number 2, it's not always as good as the first one, right? And if it's not always as good as the first one, sometimes it's just bad. Cars 2 is that flawed one. My wife loves Cars 2. I don't love Cars 2. I don't think Cars 2 is that good, right? Cars 2 is a good example of a sequel where, compared to 1 and 3, in my opinion, it does not hold much weight, especially reception-wise, right? And you can go, there are many other sequels. Cars 2 is the first one that came to mind. But there are many other sequels we can go down the line of it being like downright not good. But in some cases, you do get sequels that hold up well. Like Toy Story 2 arguably is the best Toy Story in the franchise. Some people will tell you Toy Story 3, right? In that instance, it's like, whoa, Toy Story 1 was a landmark, but they came along and they did Toy Story 2 and they did Toy Story 3, and each of those two movies kind of leveled up in some kind of way, depending on how you look at it and depending on how you feel. That's the whole concept with sequels, right? Back to the Future 2, arguably better than Back to the Future 1. Buddy at work thinks Back to the Future 1 is better than 2. It's an interesting tension. But what can be said is that Back to the Future 2 is still a good movie, right? The Lost World of Jurassic Park. Most people won't say Jurassic Park is better than The Lost World of Jurassic Park. The Lost World is number 2. Most people will say that that's not as good as Jurassic Park, the very first one. And they would say most of the sequels after that got worse, right? So that's usually the common thread. I feel like recently that common thread kind of has been broken a little bit. As I look at Frozen 2, I thought Frozen 2 arguably better than Frozen 1. You can debate about it. I enjoyed the story in Frozen 2. I thought it was really interesting. And they took it a step further, right? And some of the songs too were great too. They just elevated that story in Frozen 2, right? Kung Fu Panda 2, I don't think it's better than Kung Fu Panda 1. But Kung Fu Panda 2, really good. Leveled up the story, continued the story, while adding in new elements. That's what a sequel does. Zootopia 2 does that. And I think it does a good job. Even as I think back, almost 24 hours later now, I go, Zootopia 2 does a really good job of just continuing what was left. I mean, not what was left, but continuing the story of the first one. Not even just about the characters Nick and Judy, but more so, the commentary is still there, right? I'm not going to dive into it too much, and I don't want to spoil it. I'll just read the synopsis. After cracking the biggest case in Zootopia's history, rookie cops Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde find themselves on the twisting trail of a great mystery when Gary the Snake arrives and turns the animal metropolis upside down. To crack the case, Judy and Nick must go undercover to unexpected new parts of town, where their growing partnership is tested like never before. I think I love that we got out of the city. I think we spent a lot of time in Zootopia 1. Memorizing. I'm trying to think about Zootopia. Yes, we spent a lot of time in Zootopia 1 in some of the main aspects of what Zootopia was. In this one, they push us into different layers of Zootopia that we haven't seen. And again, I won't get into too much of that because that's storytelling, that's plot I'm telling, and I want to tell that. And so I love that they dug deep into the lore of Zootopia in this one. We get more lore of the city, of these characters, of the history. And again, the social commentary is there. Again, I won't dive into that because I feel like it gives it away if I go too much into what the social commentary talks about. But it's on the same line it's on the same lines of Zootopia 1. The commentary, looking different, who you are, all that stuff is just life. And for people that go, I don't want to see it, it's too political, I don't want to get into any of that. Like, that is life. Like, that's just who we are. That's what we go through. That's what we have to deal with. That's what some people have to deal with, right? Identity issues, being okay with who you are, understanding your trauma, understanding where you come from, right? And that's where the real underlayers of this story continue to flourish, and this franchise continue to flourish, which I think they're probably going to end up making a third. I'll tell you that right now. They're going to make a third. Oh, yeah, with that money, they're making a third. I don't even want to. Oh, yeah, they're making a third. That the third movie, like, if they can continue on this path, like, of the social commentary, and I think they do it well enough to where I go, if there's anybody that ever goes to this movie and they're like, I'm so aggravated because it feels like Disney's forcing something upon me, and then I go, heart check, I don't think Disney's forcing anything on you. It's beautifully written. It's sitting there, right? You can take it however you want to take it, but it's sitting there, and it's not being forced, and it's not overdone. It's well paced. It's well written. They weave it into the story, into these characters well, and it just makes it really, really good. It's really, really creative, and it's really, really good. That's what I love about this franchise now, and that's why I personally go, I thought the second one was good. It wasn't better than the first, and who knows? Maybe upon a rewatch, it gets better for me, and it gets better than the first. We'll see. But it is a movie where I go, man, I don't mind more of these. I know we're tired of sequels, and we're tired of more of these films. I love a franchise, though, that has good characters and good story. I can sit with that franchise for a long time, right? And sometimes, I mean, again, that's the tension where you're trying to figure out, when do you call it quits, though? When do you say, hey, we're done. We've done enough of these. Toy Story might be that, right? But let's be real. Toy Story 4 was a solid movie. There are people that go, Toy Story 4 wasn't that good. No, Toy Story 4 was solid. It was a solid. They've never made a bad Toy Story movie. Now, it being where it ranks on your Toy Story list, that's a different story. That's a different commentary, right? But I don't think they've ever made a bad Toy Story movie. And honestly, even though I don't want another Toy Story 5, I go, okay, if they can make a good story, with a good plot and put these characters in interesting situations and bring something good out of it, I'm in. I did hear that some early screenings from Toy Story are good. I did hear some good reactions from that, but that's for next year. Zootopia 2, I think, does everything it needs to do. It hits the right notes. The character dynamic, too, between Judy and Nick, I think that is exactly what the movie also needed. I'm glad the movie, again, this is what a normal and not aware writer, filmmaker, whoever, storyteller does. They won't touch on that relationship and they won't dig into it. Judy and Nick are tested. Their friendship is tested in this, right? It's not just, oh, they solve one case and everything is all roses and sunshine, right? Everything's not always good. And I figured, and I don't know, I think I walked in thinking, I didn't think their relationship was going to be tested. But obviously, characters always have conflict, it's always that. But I think this movie really harped on that. Like, this movie was like, hey, you guys did this big case. Nick joins the force. That's awesome. Here's a new case. You guys are really going to be tested. Like, tested. And I think I love that about the writing. I think that's really good writing. To not gloss over the relationship and go, everything is fine. You guys are great cops, right? You solved that one case, and that's kind of the running thing in the whole thing. They've only solved one case, right? So you guys are not that good. You guys are not that good. there's other thoughts and stuff that Judy and both Nick have about that. But villains was interesting villain theme. Won't get into too much of that, but also the like mystery detective police vibe that I get from this series is so good. It's so good. Again, it's one of those movies where, again, there are a couple scenes in that movie I go, oof, this could scare a couple children. Could. It kind of creeped me out. Right? And that just shows that Jared Bush, Byron Howard directed the first one. Yeah, Byron Howard directed the first one. Jared Bush joined for this one. Jared Bush previously worked on Encanto. Byron Howard also worked on Encanto. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Either way. Shoot. Lost my train of thought. These filmmakers care. That's all I'm gonna leave with. These filmmakers care. Okay. The noir, the drama, the crime scene, it's all good. All good. Cool. Zootopia. Go see that, man. Go see it. Go watch it. Go enjoy it. Take that niece, take that nephew, take your children. Go enjoy. Go enjoy something familiar. Again, I know we're in a day and age where I think people are honestly getting tired of the rehashing and the reboots, and I get it. The sequels, people are annoyed. People want new stuff. I can tell. But at the same time, I mean, again, you guys, Zootopia 2 making this much money. This is why Zootopia is in the Disney parks. This is why they're continuing making these attractions and stuff and putting these characters in the parks and all that stuff. It's all layered, right? It all goes back to money. Zootopia's profitable means it goes into Disney parks. Toy Story has been profitable. Merchandise is always profitable. We're putting it in Disney parks. It's in the Disney parks that's making us money. Let's make another one. It's all strategic. Lilo and Stitch, one of the most profitable characters. I bet we'll see Lilo and Stitch in the Disney parks eventually because it's profitable. It makes money. It's all connected. Merchandise, you make money, we're putting you in the park, right? Encanto was a sneaky hit, came on Disney Plus. We're going to put it in the parks, right? Sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes because of the parks and because of it's in the parks and it's profitable, they turn on the other side and go, we're going to make a movie about this. Depends. Okay. Zootopia 2. It's good. Go see it. Go see it. Again, Zootopia it's not just a kids movie. Let's stop with the narrative of it's just a kids movie. Let's get rid of that. It's not just a kids movie. Avatar, Fire and Ash. It's coming, y'all. December 19th. Really excited about this one. Really, really excited about this one. Tickets are already on sale. I got to figure out when I'm going to see this. I think I want to try to catch this in IMAX. We'll see. Maybe it might be a Friday morning film for me. Or it might be a Friday night with the wife. We'll see. We'll see how she feels about it. Avatar, Fire and Ash, December 19th. We're going to keep rolling. End of the year. I got to watch one battle after another with Leonardo DiCaprio. I got to see that movie. I'm renting it on Apple TV. I got to watch that. Stranger Things Season 5. Go watch the first 4 episodes. Go check that out. If you want something else to watch, I don't want to watch Zootopia. Go see Running Man, right? Running Man is solid. Gave it a solid rating. Gave it a solid review. Go see Running Man. Go see it. Don't want to go see Running Man. Wicked for Good, right? Don't want to go see that. Find something to watch. There are things out there, guys. There are things out there. Don't just go. There's nothing to watch. There are some things out there to watch before the year is over. Heading into the new year, 2026. 2026 outlook. We're going to do that. We're going to do that next month. Next month. Oh, this is going to come out in December. So we're going to do that in December. We're going to do that in December. We're going to look at 2026. It's an exciting year. Every year is always exciting because you've always got some kind of major releases, but it's really exciting when you think about. I instantly go to, actually, Spider-Man was more on the top of my mind when I thought about 2026. Oddly enough, there's a lot on Spider-Man. I haven't got to talk about the new Spider-Man yet since they've started filming, and my thoughts. We're gonna get there. Odyssey, Christopher Nolan. That could be the biggest film of next year. That could be the biggest film of next year. But hold on. Avengers Doomsday is in November, right? Avengers. The world has kind of fallen off on the MCU, right? Nobody's really excited for it. Nobody's really with it. But I think people are going to buy back into it. I think the first Doomsday trailer can be big. It has to be big. I think Marvel knows it has to be big. Thunderbolts did well, but didn't do what they wanted it to do. Fantastic Four did well at the end of the day. It made that money. It wasn't like a supersonic hit like I think they wanted it to be. Avengers Doomsday will be a supersonic hit. Why? Robert Downey Jr. is returning. That's the only reason why, right? Honestly, I couldn't say that's the only reason why. OG X-Men, Fantastic Four. There's lots of layers into this movie that I think if they do it right, it's going to be a big hit too. We're going to talk about that. 2026 is going to be great. Could be insane. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows? All right. That's it for another episode of the Real Table Podcast. Thank you so much once again for just listening to this podcast. Share this with people. If you know somebody likes Zootopia, share them my thoughts, right? Share them my thoughts. Comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Connect with me about these movies and about these things and your thoughts and your perspectives on it. I want to hear them. I want to hear what you think. If you loved Running Man, tell me why you love Running Man. Tell me why you love it. If you love Wicked for Good, tell me why. Okay. All right. That's it for another episode of Real Table Podcast. I will see y'all next time. Y'all be safe out there. It's Christmas time. Y'all. Y'all be safe out there. Peace.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you're enjoying the deep dives and the conversation around film, be sure to share and follow the podcast. Once again, thanks for coming to the table, and we'll see you next time.